Hello and welcome to the Story Engine podcast. My name is Kyle Gray, and today on the show we have Oscar Rubio. Oscar is the founder of a software platform that helps people traveling in and out of countries for a medium term find great people and be able to manage their home while being abroad or going through other things. We're going to talk about the complexities that go into creating a service like this and the real peace of mind and magic that is facilitated with Oscar's product. So without any further ado, let's hand it over to Oscar Rubio. Oscar Rubio, welcome to the Story Engine podcast.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to dive in with you today, and I want to start you off the same way I start off all my guests. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and how you're showing up in the world today?
Well, I am Oscar Rubio, CEO of Lodgering, CEO and founder. I start on my career as entrepreneur in 2013 after I have a really bad experience living abroad in Leeds, UK, finding accommodation, making all the administration issues, etc. So when I came back to Spain, I said it must be an easy way to make all this. And if somebody for a few money provide this service, I'm pretty sure that people will buy it. So that is how I start in 2013. At the beginning, I was visiting the locations that I was request for before nobody comes. I was managing all the stuff, learning about the places, and then providing the service of relocation. With the time, I started to scale up and grow. I saw that that wasn't scalable at all. So I concentrate in Madrid. I create several companies, not just in the relocation, as well in property manager, etc. Until 2020, when COVID comes. And in that moment, I almost died, as a company, as well as a person. Everything was awful. So I decide how to survive in the future, right? So I took all the experience, all the processes, everything that I had during my previous experiences, and I put everything in a digital ecosystem that we call Lodgering. Lodgering basically helps institutions, relocated people, and property managers and service providers to consolidate all in one small process that provides visibility to every part involved in the mobility process and make everything smoother and easy.
So I know a lot of different business models, and I've heard of one called a two-sided marketplace where you have to have buyers of something and sellers of something.
Mhm.
And what you're just describing to me, if I'm understanding it right, sounds like there's like 8 different marketplaces kind of interacting and intersecting, and you've got to make sure you're balancing
Well,
all.
it's more a SaaS model where we
Yeah.
provide the software to the institutions and we provide the software to the housing
Mm,
owners. They work independently, but it has more power if it's everything connected, right? So a
totally.
housing owner can manage through the SaaS their entire property, not having connected with Aribo or Abroad, which are the softwares in the other part. Abroad, it's perfectly fine working independently as well. But if
Yeah.
they mix each other, they get a lot of power. So basically, more than a marketplace, it's a SaaS model where the software
Yeah.
provides you that escalation in the mobility process. Let's say.
Yeah. And it sounds like the story that you've laid out is really a story of scale and running into certain limitations of scale and having to reinvent yourself several times over when you hit that upper limit of where the vision is going.
Well, I saw more like a learning path.
Yeah,
At the end, you realize with the pass of the time that the experience is your enemy and is your ally, both.
interesting.
Having or passing through those experiences at the beginning is so difficult because you are experimenting something that you are not aware of, you are not used to deal with it, but provides you some insights and some ideas that provides you the possibility to escalate the business. Not
Hmm.
just that, to grow in terms of the business. The most important thing in that process is always the resilience, because during that process, as I said at the beginning, more than anything, is so difficult. On my side, I always see each year as a new year, where I have to put in value all the mistakes that I did the past year into the new year, right? So at the end, I always say the same. I'm what I am because I learn from my mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, it's difficult to learn. You can learn, no? Getting
Hmm.
information and getting ideas and having mentors and all that stuff. On my side, I learn from my mistakes.
I've had my fair share too, and I've learned to be grateful for them. Tell us about, I'd love to hear about your ideal clients, these people that you've really cared for and you've been thinking about creating this experience for a long time. And I think you understand the problems that they face better than almost anyone else. Can you describe some of the top problems that your ideal clients are facing that you've really built into the software of solutions and help?
It's funny that you mentioned that because when I have a meeting with a VP of operations or a CEO or people like this, they always said, you digitalize all the issues, all the pains that we have, right? I mean, you put all together in the software and it's just like that. I mean, we get used to do it traditionally in my first experience and relocation and property management, etc. And what we did is to transform all that into a digital system, which allows you to reduce the cost of hours, the number of incidents, the user experience, all that. So at the end, what we are providing is like more efficiency in the operational teams that
Hold
are
on,
used
but
to manage.
you're telling me solutions. I want to hear about the problems that they're experiencing. So I want to
Okay,
know, like,
perfect.
in my house, I'm wasting all these monies on my property manager, or I
Uh,
don't know who to trust, or it sounds like cost of hours or number of incidents. Like, tell me about these things.
Everything starts in the property manager, everything starts from the commercialization. You use at least 6 platforms to receive reservations coming from different emails, different ways. So you consolidate all in one solution. So the biggest problem at the beginning is to have a lot of information that you are not able to consolidate because you don't have that tool. So the problem is that you have overbookings in some of the times, or you can have lack of occupancy if you are not controlling well these reservations. Afterwards, when the tenant arrives at home, start all the process. Check-in, check-out, digital sign or signature on the contracts, rental payments, all that stuff that usually people do with several softwares, different platforms of payments and digital signatures, etc. The same. You consolidate the whole process in an order, step by step, where you can have control and visibility, and most than anything, you reduce the problems or the incidents with the user experience. Usually this market, when somebody moves to other country, they have a lot of stress because they are moving for work or for study, new culture, new language, new issues, new
Hmm.
administration. If they have everything settled up and they have access to all the information since the beginning, and they have just one tool to manage the whole stay, they are improving that experience, that user experience. So our solution is providing that as well.
And it sounds
So
like somebody signs up to have a property like this for somewhat passive income or an investment. And what you just described sounds like it's more than a part-time job to just sort through your own email and manage all these people. And so the actual profit or investment that you experience from this property is kind of being wasted on you working so hard and being so stressed.
not just that, we see a lot of stress in the operational teams because they have a lot of incidents, a lot of issues, a lot of things that they don't control. So at the end, they end on the years rejecting the job or quitting the job or that kind of stuff because it's so difficult to deal with it. It seems easy because you have a problem, you make a solution, etc. But it's not as easy as it seems. So at the end, operational teams are receiving an stress that are
Hmm.
making all these issues bigger than they expected
And so they
as
might not
well.
show up. I've got a plumbing problem and I'm in a different country. And now I'm hoping that this people will come, but I don't really know. And is my apartment like leaking right now? Okay. Cool.
and I sent a WhatsApp or I sent an email, what I have to do, I make a phone call, nobody answered. The people who answer is not at the office at that time. So at the end, it's uncontrolled everything, right?
Ooh,
So
scary.
the relocated people is calling to the institution that could be the company or the university who is 3,000 miles away at least, trying to call the housing owner. So at the end, it's a mess
And when
in
you say
operations.
relocated, just to make sure it's clear for me and everybody, this would be like somebody if I lived in, especially in the early days, I lived in Madrid, but maybe I moved to London or Miami or somewhere else for a while and I wanted to rent out my house and have that all managed.
Correct, correct.
Yeah.
It's most of the stays from 1 month to 11 months,
Yeah.
because after that period of time, people stay for longer or settle in the city where they are relocating, right?
Yeah.
So we are focusing in what we call midterm, which is not vacation or holidays or short term, and it's not longer stays
Those are my
than
favorite.
11.
I love those kind of stays.
Yeah, it's a lot of, engineers going for a specific project or
Hmm.
study abroad students, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I did a lot of work and study abroad when I was younger. I did it myself and then worked in an office, sending a lot of people to Spain, Latin America, Middle East.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
One of the things that we always see is that international offices who are sending the people abroad, or human resources companies, departments who are sending people abroad, they have the information, the data, they provide the service for academics or for the job, not for all the logistics that is related to this movement. So at the end, they enter in a process where they receive all the incidents that they are not capable to manage because are not in this business. So there is where Lodgering enters, let's say.
So now I want to hear, like, as far as the platform goes, or things that you would want to highlight. It sounds like everything in one place is really good. Are there any other things that are different about how this platform works, like how it gets the people results that you would like to showcase?
Well, at this point, what we have created is all the modules and all the digitalization in the processes. Now, in a second phase that we are facing since January 2026, we are starting to introduce AI in the processes. So everything will be more automatized in terms of having the proposals of the accommodation or the information or the suppliers of lawyers, bank account, insurances, everything more connected and more offer and more automatized. So people won't use the software in a traditional way in terms of making everything manually. If not, the AI will be proposing and matching all the needs that the people have. So that is the second phase that we are facing now in
Hmm.
2026.
One more flavor for me. So everything in one place, it adds automatic and anticipates my needs. I mean, we kind of have it like saves me time. I think also saving me money
Time is
or
money.
making me money. You said like the difference between being overbooked or underbooked and then making sure that somebody's fixing things. And I imagine incidents, we kind of talked about incidents being like I might lose my plumber, but I also think that it could be if a family comes and there's an incident that happens, it's going to harm my reputation and bookings in the future.
Not just not just that. You get information about those incidents that could be different, right? Electricity issues, security issues, a lot of things, right? All that data provides you information to prevent issues in the future.
Hmm.
So when you are preparing a mobility process or a managing of a house, you are able to budget that cost and even reduce it according to the information that you have. So
Hmm.
it's not just about anticipate the issue, it's as well anticipate the budget. And that is important as well, right?
Hmm.
So at the end, it's everything is about experience in terms of the process and the operations, right? As you just said, time is money. So reducing time is reducing money, is being more effective, having more information and everything consolidated is to increase the rates of occupancy and have everything more controlled, more clean. And as I just said, data. Data who provides you information to take decisions, who reduce the operational cost.
Awesome. And then I think ultimately what people want and are looking for in this is they want to feel safe that their home and their property that they deeply care about is taken care of. They want to be saving more and making more from this property because there's less issues and they know what they need to know to make the right choices. And I think
Mhm.
most importantly, they're going somewhere else. And I hope that they are enjoying their time there or can be present there and not worried about what's going on back at home, which is really, really
Correct. At the end, it's a guarantee of peace of mind that we call. When you go abroad, you want to be with confidence that where you are going, it's a safe place, verified with the resources enough to solve any kind of issue that you may have. More than anything follow up, that
Mhm.
we are so focused in the empathy with the customer, right? So we have a kind of project internally that we call We Do Care, and it's a manner of expression or express our interest in the customer, not just the technology, if not how this experience it's going.
Perfect. Well, it's a great transition. I want to read back some of the problems that we've stated. I'm going to generalize them and emotionalize them a little bit. And
Mhm.
what I want your role to be is to kind of feel in your body where these words are happening. And I want you to ask yourself, when specifically did I feel like this? Maybe it was that COVID story that you kind of hinted at. It might be a little
Hmm.
bit before or working in Madrid, but when was a time, Oscar, when you had you were sorting between so many different platforms, there was so much information and it was in all these different places, but you never had enough to actually make this choice, and it felt like you were flying blind? Sometimes you would have overbookings or underbookings.
Well, as I mentioned before, one of the things that we always do is every year analyze what happened during the last year. I remember 2019, I think, between 2019 2020, we realized that we have to print like thousands of rental agreements, going with the paper, wait at the door to the tenant to arrive at the home, and then sign the paperwork, come back to the office, as I just said, receive reservations and bookings from 10 platforms to have the maximum occupancy possible, but you receive even emails with reservations in a spam inbox. So you didn't get it, right? So in that moment I realized how I can concentrate all this. It was like the beginning of the idea. How can I make more effective the work of, because at the end we were hiring and hiring people, and doesn't matter how many people you hire, you had the same issues. So if you had to make one process and you need one people, it's not scalable. That is the way I think. So that is how everything started, to be honest. It wasn't just one thing. It was like the whole process that I realized that it wasn't effective.
This was a great answer. This is a great moment. What did your life look like? How many hours were you working a day? And what would you do when you weren't working in this time?
You did the answer and the other way around is how many hours you don't work. No, to be honest, and it's not good. It's not a good advice, but my job is my hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up every morning and I start working, and for me it's my passion. I'm enjoying a lot this moment of scaling up, but I was enjoying as well the moment when I was creating. I don't know. I would say 13, 14 hours a day, something like that. During
Mm-hmm.
weekends I try to spend time with my family, my kids, etc, but still I have moments of working during the weekend. Most than anything, I like on Sundays to prepare the agenda for the whole week, so I don't have to start on Monday and waste time on Monday preparing the whole week. And the only way that I found right now, which is taking me out my brain, my job, my work, is golf. I start this summer and it's frustrating at the same time, which is joyful. So for me, golf is the only thing that I discover that is taking me out of the job. I'm trying to read every night just to get formation, but it's related to my work. So at the end, it's almost the same.
My God, this is great.
And basically like that. I'm not workaholic, but my job is my hobby. Let's say that.
Well, it was necessary for the business that we had built. We had built this thing that required this of us, and we had to change. And it's exactly the same as what your clients are going through, but just with a couple of extra zeros behind it. And okay, so I love this.
I don't know if I would like to find another way to do it, but it's the only way I found to get it, which is make the maximum effort that you can do to get what you want. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's, I mean, it's very useful and has its own perils, as we've discovered in our lives. But now I want to hear another story. I bet it's on a golf course. Several years later, you reinvented this platform and you made it so much smoother, not just for everyone else, but for yourself. And
Mhm.
you felt safe and taken care of. And you were making more and saving more, and you had the right information to make the right choices, less issues. And maybe you are somewhere, maybe you're golfing somewhere else in a
That's
different country. When was this moment?
that's the dream. My wife always asks the same. When is going to be enough? When is going to be the end line, right?
Mm,
I don't know. My plan now or my project with Lodgering, it's a 5 years plan in order to get the KPIs and goals that we have in this business plan for 5 years. And after that, I'll see what is happening, right? The world is changing so fast these days with
yeah.
AI and a lot of things. So it's difficult to predict what you are going to do, no? But my dream, for sure, it's always to be connected to the entrepreneurship. I don't know
Yeah.
if at Lodgering or maybe helping another entrepreneurs in getting their ideas come true and that kind of stuff, mixing with golf and family, for sure.
But what has already occurred in your life that's as close to this as possible, or a moment of peace, or at least more alignment in your business, so you're spending more time in the same way? Like,
Well, I evolve a lot. I mean, I have
mhm,
an executive leader team, which is amazing, and they are taking care of the whole operations every day. And I can focus in strategy, in long term vision, in expansion in the US. For me, that part already come right.
perfect,
3 years ago, I was the orchestra man, and making everything, all the noises, all the music. Now I have a team which is capable to manage the company in the daily operations. So that is part of the evolution, right?
amazing. Oscar, would you like to hear your story?
For sure.
It's Sunday, and I've been spending a few hours preparing the agenda for my team meetings coming up. My wife comes in and asks me, when is this going to be enough? And I'm not sure. It's what I need to do right now because I have to print thousands of rental agreements and make sure that all of these people get to the door, they sign the paperwork, receive managing and bookings. Right now, and the things that a lot of the people I'm working with, their bookings are going into their spam inbox and people are showing up to their doors and they don't know. And I am trying to figure out how to solve this problem and I don't know how. Hiring more people just seems to expand the problems but doesn't solve them. And I'm working 13 to 14 hours a day doing my best to put out every single fire. I feel like a one-man orchestra running between chairs and instruments as fast as I can to try and make this music happen. And I realized in that moment that something needed to change. It needed to change for myself, my team, my family, and I needed to actually be able to enjoy other parts of my life and feel taken care of. And so I started looking through everything that I had done and reinventing how I did this work. I wanted to create something that would put everything in one place that could manage a home and everything that it needed in a way that you could trust and give you clear information on everything that's happening. I wanted to build in as much as possible something that was automatic that would anticipate my needs so that I could go on and enjoy the rest of my life, but knowing that this was taken care of. And so everything was streamlined and smoothed in taking care of this home, which is one of the most important things in anyone's life. And over the course of several years, we began rebuilding this platform and carrying out this vision. And as we started to improve how we served our clients in their homes, the same things started to occur for us and in our work. As we streamlined, as we automated, things became better for us and our clients. And I can remember one evening playing golf with my executive leader team, knowing that I was taken care of, that all of the operations were taken care of and the business was running smoothly, and I didn't have to be the one man orchestra. I got to focus on what I really discovered I loved: vision and strategy and thinking about how I can expand this company. And while this happened for a business, for me, I see the same thing happening in the homes of thousands of people, engineers that want to move away and think that they can rent out their home for a short amount of time, but it becomes this part-time job and chaos, that it ruins times abroad because you're always feeling unsafe if your home's really taken care of, if that leak got fixed, or if the people that booked a time actually were able to get into the house. And this is everything that I've done to build in a process that can meet you and create that sense of safety and peace of mind that you need so that you can focus on being wherever you are in the world.
You cross my mind. Love it. Let's put it in a book and sell it. I mean, it was like that, exactly like that. Exactly like that. You cross my mind, man. You
Thank you
cross my
so
mind.
much.
It was lovely. No, I love it. I love it. Yes,
Amazing.
exactly like that. Exactly like that. That's my style.
Good. Well, I hope that we can impact many more with it. Thank you so much for joining us on this process. And you did so great. I loved the details and the honesty in this.
No, listen, Kyle, thank you very much. I made a lot of podcast interviews and this was different. So thank you.
Amazing. Well, Oscar, do you have any closing thoughts for us today? And where can we go to learn more about you?
Let's keep working, man. Let's keep doing it.
All right. All right. But yeah, point us to a site, some socials. Where can we start to check out this platform?
Yeah, perfect. You can find us in lodgering.com. That is the main website. And basically, I put all my ideas and thoughts in LinkedIn, where I have my individual profile, Oscar Rubio, simple. And there you can find me as well.
Amazing. And we'll have all those links in the show notes as well. Oscar
Perfect.
Rubio, thank you so much for joining us on the Story Engine podcast.
You're very welcome, Gal.